Leos, hello, my loves. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Leos, we have the Father, the Sword, the Tear, the Ring, the Mentor, and the Starborn. And I just feel like this. I mean, the Father is the idea of being taken to extremes and, lifted up on a pedestal and dropped flat on your face. And the Tear is just, it's sadness, but it's a cleansing sadness. You know what I mean? Because I feel like even if it hurts to make a decision, you're like, you know what? But I know that this decision will ultimately lead to a more healing energy. And it's not about instant gratification. And it's not about me getting what I want right when I want it. It's about what's best in this scenario for everyone, including myself. You know what I mean? Because if I'm not taking care of myself, then I'm going to start lashing out and like hurting other people. And that might be what you do, but that's not what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to go ahead and go in a different direction. And I feel like there are some people who are probably really upset about that. And yet it's like, no sooner do you go in another direction than I feel like you open up the doors or open up the windows, or do you know what I mean? It's like, this was in another read. I feel like this was in my Aries read though. But the idea of like a escape room, and like everybody's like, you have to get us out this way and you have to do this, and everybody's fighting and you're just kind of like, oh my God. If everyone would just shut the fuck up, please. Like there are things to do. There is a different direction. There is a different way. And like, this is the way out. Do you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, say what you will. You can say that I'm terrible for all of the reasons that you want to say that I'm terrible. But if this is the way out, and I know the way out, and y'all are just fighting, then I'm gonna go ahead and go in a direction that's going to, like change the scenery here. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like we got to change the scenery. And sometimes you do, like if you've been in an argument with someone, or you know what I mean? Like you just got to like, I got to go outside. I got to go for a walk. Like I need to go do an activity. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, like if you've just like walk away from something, and you're like, well, that's unfortunate, but not surprising. Do you know what I mean? Guess I'm going to go in a new direction now. And I do feel this sense of like, but like, watch this direction actually result in what it is that I've been trying to say that we could be doing over here when y'all won't listen to me. You know what I mean? Okay. You do you. Right? And that was in the last read too. It's like, okay, if that's what you need to do, if that's what you want to do, then do that. Honor your truth. You know what I mean? Like, and if that's your truth, then honor that. But if it's not my truth, I'm sorry that I can't honor that alongside you, because that will prevent me from holding the promise that I made in the first place to get all this shit sorted out. I think your compass is broken. I don't know. Is it the moss that grows on the west side of the tree? I don't know. I am not a survival skills person. But I have respect for people who are, like that was one thing that I always told Alex. I was like, listen, your dad knows shit that I don't have any clue about. Like he can teach you so many things. Do you know what I mean? Like take pride in that and take advantage of that opportunity. Like that doesn't mean that you have to hate anybody or that you have to be traumatized by like you have an opportunity for tutelage in life for somebody who knows something that like I could never help you with that. Does that mean that I'm never going to be around to help you to tutor you in other things? No, absolutely not. But like also, like have some respect and some gratitude for all of the blessings that you do have, and stop sitting around acting like the world's against you, because nobody's against you. The the Knight of Pentacles in the Chariot. Again, I just feel like this cutting ties, going in another direction, and taking advantage of an opportunity that's going to actually allow you to like hold promises, you know, that it's like, you're right. Those did feel like empty promises, and you're right. Those did feel like lies. And I know why, because I was short-sighted, because I got caught up in some shit that was like, that's not even what, you know what I mean? I don't even think that way. I don't even feel that way. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's great. I think everybody should be happy. I think everybody should be healthy. Like, that shouldn't be exclusive. That should be inclusive. You know, but your sense of inclusivity is so exclusive that it's like, okay, well, you know what? You do that. You do that. I'll do this. You know, like, we don't have to do the same thing. That's okay. Doesn't make you my enemy. But I think that maybe there is a sense of feeling like this, well, if you're not on my team, if you're not by my side, then you're not, you know, then you're not fighting for me, or you're not fighting, you know, on my behalf or with me or any of those things. And it's like, well, I don't know. Again, I just think of like, there are battles that are going on that are so much bigger than like when people want to get you caught up in these little petty cycles of behavior and you know, like, I'm gonna do this, and you know, and it's like, if you would just like step outside of those like petty battles, you would see that there's an entire war going on, and there is so much more out there. And if you start dealing with the real issues at hand, all of the petty battles that are thrown at you disappear. You know what I mean? Because why? And that's healthy. That's healthy for those people who are in those petty little battles too. And it might not feel like it. It might feel like it's being ignored, or it's being cut out or outcast, but it's not. It's like, okay, well, like, we got to deal with the big things in order to deal with the little things, you know, and we got to work together, and we got to find a way to, you know, like, align ourselves with people who are going to embody that magic with us, who aren't going to fight us tooth and nail, so that like we can't ever be prepared to go into like, okay, so like, say you're caught up in these petty battles, right? You can either look at those petty battles and say, oh my God, what a waste of my time. Or you can look at those petty battles and you can say, yo, that shit trained me to be aware of how pettiness locks people in, so that I know better than to be petty, because that's how ridiculous it is. And that's how unhealthy and toxic and like cyclical that is, that like throws you around. And it's like, okay, well, if I can see that now and I can step away from that, then I can actually stand in the promise that I made in the first place, which was to get the shit together and create all the things that, like, because I kind of get this sense of like, well, everybody always said that they were gonna do this, or they said they would do that, and they said they would do this, but nobody ever does what they said. And it's like, well, yeah, I feel that. I heard that. You know what I mean? Like, that's frustrating as fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, but where people get short-sighted is that like, it takes time to build like, if you're building an audience, or if you're going to school, you've got to take those courses, you've got to acquire that information, and then you've got to apply that information, and then you have to work out the kinks of that information. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, that's a whole process. And people who are like trying to keep you caught up in these petty battles and these like this stupid shit, it's like, they're so short-sighted of like the bigger picture. But that's kind of the point, is that like, they can keep you short-sighted too. And it's like, well, no. Because I got a bird's eye view here. Okay. Leos. Let's see what else we can get for us. Whew. Knave of Cups, Nine of Cups, Ten of Cups. Well, okay. Hold on, let me see what else first. The Emperor, the Star, the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. Well, yes, because again, I just feel like this, like, if you're caught up in petty battles, you can't deal with the things that are like actually the issue. And nobody wants to deal with the actual issue if they are a part of the actual issue, right? And it's like, well, we all got to swallow our shit. We all got to like swallow our pride, swallow, like fight against our egos and not let them get the better of us, because that's how people trip you up. And you have already made a decision that like, that's not your battle. That's not your goal. That's not what you're about. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, I can't even with this energy. You know, I have to make a decision to break myself away from it. And if that feels aggressive, I'm sorry, but please don't be so short-sighted, you know, like, please use that as an opportunity to have been trained in a positive way to actually fight for something that really matters, instead of feeling defeated and feeling like you just got lost in some petty shit for no reason at all. You know, like, don't allow for it to sweep you away from yourself, and stay strong in who you are, because Leos, we are fixed as fuck. And there's just something familiar about us. I don't know, like, I just feel the sense of familiarity, you know, but like from an outside energy that's very grateful, you know, like just this, like, thank you for being familiar to me. Because sometimes, I don't know, like, I think of this one person I work with, and she's from Florida. And she's sweet as can be, but you know, she's always like, oh, I don't have anybody, you know what I mean? And it's like, so we're gonna go hang out, you know, and walk around and look at art and have fun, and you know what I mean? But it's just kind of like that sense of like thank you for being familiar. Thank you for being somebody who makes me feel like I have a little bit of grounding, you know, because Leos, we're good at that. We're good at offering people a sense of being like I can come to Leo and Leo will be there, you know? And it's just kind of like, okay, like that's who we are. And because it's who we are, we can see our way out of it. And we're not going to get swept up in the currents. We're not going to get blown away by the wind. We're not going to, you know what I mean? Like, no, this is a grounding point here, you know? And like, I will always be a grounding point, and I will always do my best to like maintain that role, because that's how I identify. And I don't know, I just get that feeling of like, say what you will, but your winds will blow, your waters will rush, and I will still be here. All right, Leos, if this does resonate with you, please give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.